How y'all boys doing? This is my first YouTube video for my channel. I'm gonna call this channel Learning of Life. But this channel is gonna really be mainly about, just deep conversations or something like that, you know what I mean? While I'm night fishing or something. Mainly about fishing and mechanic work. I ain't Chris Fix-It. I ain't the best mechanic, and I ain't John B. Fishing, and I ain't the best fisherman and whatnot. But hey man, I catch them, and I'll fix a little bit of stuff, But the main purpose for me wanting to make this stuff is not to get rich or famous or anything. It's mainly just to teach people like stuff, And because I know these videos, they'll sometimes tell you, mislead you and whatnot, and overcomplicate a certain thing. Because I remember when I first started on my first little oil change, man, it was rough, They didn't tell me the millimeter of the socket. They didn't tell me that a quarter drive, a 3/8 drive, and a 1/2 inch drive are all different ratchets. They didn't tell me certain sockets fit certain ratchet sizes. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that they left out that they expected, the average guy to know. And, I don't know if any of y'all already know that or whatnot, and I'm just a little slow, but, I didn't know. But, yeah, I'm just gonna tell y'all, a little basic information like that. There's a lot that y'all already probably gonna know, and there's probably gonna be some times where it's like, damn, ain't this obvious? But at one point in time, it wasn't that obvious for me. So I'm gonna just put myself in other people's shoes and assume that as well. And if I skip over something, comment it or whatever, and I'll try to go back over it. Same thing with fishing. I love fishing. I try to go at least once a week. And, but now I got other stuff going on in life. Or I used to go every day. But, like I said, other stuff in life that require other priorities. So I get in where I fit in, But, yeah, I'm just do stuff like that. I ain't gonna do vlogs or anything like that. My life boring, man. I just go to work, come home, fix the project car. It's a Cutlass 1984 right now. Lack of compression. I think it's the pistons. Gonna swap out the piston rings. We're still working on that. Ground's kind of wet right now, so we can't do too much. But no concrete driveway to work with, so that's fun. But yeah, man. Definitely gonna post some fishing content for y'all. It's what I like doing, and I enjoy watching John B. fishing, and I learned a lot from him. Yak Pack, One Rod, One Reel, guys like that. Fishing the Norm, backyard reels. People like that, I like watching them. Googan Squad, and I can go on and on. A lot of great fishermen out there. A lot of great channels, a lot of great information out there. And it kind of inspired me to, do my own little thing. Because, I think I could teach somebody something. Because, I'm always learning every day. And I love learning in general. I ask a lot of questions. I talk a lot. So that's really what inspired me to make this channel. Also, my cousins and my old lady and whatnot, they were telling me you should make a channel, yada yada yada. So here I am. Just wanted to go ahead and make one already. Go ahead and set my footprint. This ain't really much of an introduction, because a lot of people don't really do introductions, but I'm kind of gonna call it one. But really, it's my first video. But I ain't the richest, I ain't the smartest, man. I ain't none of the above. I ain't even the greatest in any of those categories, not even top 5, but you know, I'm gonna do my thing. If you want to tap in, that's what's up. If you don't, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Right now I'm just talking a lot. But another reason why I'm also doing this channel, cause I'm tired of kind of being a consumer. You know, I'm watching all this TikTok, I'm watching all these YouTube videos, consuming. I want to kind of produce, you know? I want to produce. If money come with it, oh well. But that's not my main focus. My main focus is to hopefully teach somebody something new, to help somebody out in general. This is just for other people to learn and stuff. Cause, man, let me tell you something. If there was 2 of me, man, that'd be a fire YouTube video, show, whatever. Cause I'd be a dope ass dude. Real talk. Cause sorry guys, I'm kind of sick. I know it's April, going into what's next, May. 80 degrees outside and I'm sick. Worst time to get sick, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, man. You know, this is a quote unquote introduction, but it's really just me posting my first channel. You know, just to get it out the way, just so when I post my fishing content or a little mechanic content, you know, so just so we can get that first step out of the way and we can just go ahead and take the second step while we at it. And you know, some videos might be different. I might post a little oil change, and you know, that might not be for everybody, but if you don't know how to do one, like when it was my first oil change, my very first oil change, man, I was scared. I was scared because I've heard stories of somebody like tightening the bolt too hard, then they stripped it, or they ain't tightened it enough, and all the oil leaked out, and the engine started knocking, and just stuff like that is what discouraged me, you know. But now that I'm starting to get more into it, and you know, buying more tools and you know, what so on and what so, I'm starting to realize like there ain't nothing to really be scared of, man. Just take it one boat at a time. You know, you're gonna have your rusty boats and stuff like that. You're gonna have your seized parts, but it's all a part of the journey, you know, and that's just life for you right there. But I don't know why I like working on cars, but you know, even if it's to save $50 on some tie rods or some rotors or some brake pads, you know, I'd still rather do it myself. Not because of my pride or ego. Partially it's to save money too, but I don't know, I just like getting my hands on it, you know. It's just something I like. And you know, hopefully one day I can get to the point where I can build a 1,500 horsepower engine on a little 5.3 build, you know, 1,500 horsepower 5.3 or something, or a little 4.8 or something like that. You know, right now I'm pulling the engine on my Cutlass. You know, I think I got a 4.8 in it right now, a little LS. But yeah, right now I'm in the process of pulling that. But this is my first engine pull. You know, took off the exhaust, drive shaft, motor mounts, you know, working on the electrical engine bay, stuff like that. So I'm gonna start, you know, recording more stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, I'm not nowhere near the best mechanic, but I feel like I'm a little uncensored. Oh, we got the planes passing, y'all. I'm outside right now. And I'm by far not the best mechanic or anything, but you know, I feel like I'm uncensored, and I feel like I'm more on the realistic side of things, you know? Like, as in tools, budget, conditions to work on. You know, I feel like I meet all those things. I feel like I meet the standards for the regular guy, you know, your average guy working on a car, you know. Same thing with fishing. You know, I ain't gonna catch them all, but I'll give me on one or two, you know. And anything I can give y'all, you know, hopefully y'all can pass down, and then it gets circle right back to me, and I learn something new with a new technique or something, you know, just stuff like that in general. You know, I hope to make an impact, if not one person's day or one person's mindset or anything in general, you know. You know, I ain't trying to be motivation or anything, but yeah, man, this is my first video. Time to take that first step. That's where it starts. Thank y'all.